There are a ton of town halls that are going really poorly for Republicans right now. This is one of the town halls that happened recently.
There's been a mandate to the president from the American people. Am I correct?
Oh my God, dude. A mandate. Yeah, a mandate to destroy government. I got to tell you, I don't care what kind of mandate you think Trump has. He cannot be given a mandate to destroy the democratic system.
No!
Oh boy, people didn't like that one.
It's not a mandate by the American people.
No, he didn't get a majority of the votes. He got a plurality of the votes, I understand. And that is assuming that there was zero voter suppression, which there absolutely was voter suppression, like a lot. Millions of people had their votes thrown out in Democratic districts. I haven't seen evidence that voter suppression was enough to flip the Electoral College, but I believe it's certainly enough to have given Kamala Harris the majority vote. Maybe not flip the election, but certainly she was more popular than Trump, without a doubt. By the way, the algorithm is hitting me hard right now, completely ignoring me. So I'd appreciate if you watch to the end of the video. Having increased watch time as a percentage and a raw number is what pushes the video further. Also check out my books, owenmorgan.com. All right, back to the video.
3%. Congressional Budget Office, you know what it's going to be by 2035? It's going to be $59 trillion.
Oh yeah, and why do you think that is? $59 trillion in debt, huh? Why do you think that is? What do you think caused that? Do you think that it's Medicaid causing that? What do you think? Do you think it was like U.S. aid 1% of our federal budget? You know what it was? It's the fact that Trump just gave another tax cut. I think we're down to 32% or 37% or something taxed for the highest paid earners in the country, when not so long ago, within this past century, like 80 years or something, it was 90%. As opposed to 37%, 90%. If we raised taxes back to where they were just in 1975 or 65 or whatever, that debt would disappear, like overnight practically. It's not poor people. They aren't the problem. The rich people are the problem. Tax the shit out of them until they have nothing left, if that's what it takes. This was the Republicans' plan all along. They've said that they wanted to make government so small you could drown it in a bathtub, quote unquote, Grover Norquist, I believe. But they can't. They can't do that. They can't cut federal programs. They can't undo the Department of Education because that's illegal. The president doesn't have that power. And Congress, they'll never have the numbers in Congress to do it because it's unpopular. People like the Department of Education. So what do? They keep cutting taxes, cutting, until there's no revenue coming in, or there's certainly not enough revenue coming in anymore to maintain government operations. It was only a matter of time before either programs were cut or taxes were raised. And raising taxes is an uphill battle. So they just keep cutting taxes until there's no other choice but to cut programs. And by the way, I'm not even sure it's possible to cut enough programs in the United States to make up for the debt and the deficit like that. I think there's no other way but to tax billionaires. Yeah, so let me step back a little bit more. One more time.
Congressional Budget Office, you know what it's going to be by 2035? It's going to be $59 trillion.
We're giving billionaires tax cuts. Absolutely correct. We are giving billionaires tax cuts. And you know what people say in response to that? Well, if we give them tax cuts, then it'll be economically stimulative. No, it won't. That's not how it works. That's not how it has ever worked. This just completely made up trash. It does not trickle down, okay? It's never trickled down. It has always trickled up. Why the f*** do you think people are giving tax breaks in the first place? So they can get more money. Your sorry is not making a dime from billionaires getting massive tax cuts.
Did I tell you? You've got people who pay more taxes. The top 1% of this country pays taxes, more taxes.
I don't give a f***. I want them to pay even more I want them to pay 4 times as much as they're paying now, at least, bare minimum. As a percentage, I want them to pay 90% of the revenue that they take in, including capital gains, if they make over $10 million. Capital gains, I could settle for 30%, unless it's in a retirement fund. 30% capital gains, which means Elon Musk, his income is like zero. He makes basically nothing every year because all of his money is tied up in stocks, right? He's got a ton of Tesla stock, $400 billion worth of Tesla stock or somewhere in there. Those are considered unrealized income is what that's called. If he sells those stocks, those aren't subject to income tax because it's not an income like a regular income. That is him converting one asset to another form. It's converting stocks to money, right? So it's taxed in a different way. It's taxed under the capital gains rule. And the capital gains rule says you pay 15%. 15%. So anytime Elon Musk needs money, wants to spend $10 million on a house or something for his baby mama, he sells some of his Tesla stock, pays 15% in taxes on it, while your is paying 22%. I'm paying 22%. And he buys the house, and it's done. I want to see capital gains at 30% unless you own under $1 million worth of assets or unless it's a retirement account. I mean, I'm just spitballing here, but I could definitely think about this a little bit more. 30% for capital gains. I also want to see 90% income tax rate over 10 million, and I'm being generous here. I want to see estate tax. I mean, we could go all out, not just to fund the government, not just to drive down the debt, but to help the homeless and the poor, the people who are most vulnerable among us, and to prevent billionaires from being able to do something like buy a government like they just did with Trump. That's what I want to see. He pays no tax. He only takes loans against the stock he owns. You're absolutely correct. I was just using him as an example, but actually, Elon Musk pays zero in taxes in most cases, unless there's some special, unique situation. You don't pay taxes on loans because loans are not considered income. So he takes out loans from a bank and leverages his Tesla stock to get basically whatever he wants. And he pays a super low interest rate on it, 2-3% maybe, as opposed to the 15% capital gains tax or the 37% income tax. He's paying 2 or 3% on his loans. When he dies, there is no estate tax to my knowledge. I think they got rid of it. So when you die, loans are paid out from your estate and then distributed to your family and everything else. That means he paid $0 in taxes on the money that he uses to live off of. His food that he pays for, his gas, his whatever he needs, it's all untaxed because of that. Anyway, my point is we need to tax the shit out of them right now. If we want to dig ourselves out of this hole, we need to tax the shit out of them. I'm done with this. I'm going to Minneapolis, Minnesota for American Atheist Convention, April 17th, and I hope that you guys make it there. That would be awesome. Because my wife is going to be there for work purposes. It would be really fantastic if I had somebody just like hang out with, so I wasn't bored to tears while she's off doing work-related things. So I hope you guys make it, for real. I hope there are a bunch of people that I can hang out with, because there aren't always like a lot of people. Sometimes there are a couple of people, but they always have other things going on too, so I'll have plenty of time to hang out. Atheists.org to find out conference details if you're interested. Anyway, there's another video that I have here from this, what I believe is the exact same town hall. Yeah, it was the same one. Listen to this. It continues.
Concussion, and now she cannot function as a young woman because she was paralyzed because of the hit that he gave her. That is I'm not going to back up on my decision. So, and I hope that the president will take care of those.
Like, it's really hard to understand, but I guess they're making this woman leave.
I'm expecting the rightful place, and I'll see if he can. And now we're at 12:30, and I have another appointment. Now look, and listen, I appreciate you all showing up, whether you like my answer or whether you didn't.
Congresswoman, we have one more.
Okay, we got one more question.
The last question.
They're making her leave. Jesus Christ, man. Like, these town halls are completely out of control at this point. Like, these congressmen are not answering questions that they were elected and are paid to answer.
Wondered how you felt about President Trump pardoning the January 6th
That's right.
committed crimes, especially
How do you feel about Trump pardoning the January 6 people?
against our police officers.
If there's someone that had a prior criminal record, then your state and local law enforcement
I don't give a shit about prior records. Like, deal with those. Fine. We're not talking about prior records. What in that question made you think the person was asking about prior records? We're talking about them doing an insurrection against the U.S. government.
should be able to track them. I don't know who all he did pardon.
Do you support it? Do you support it? Just answer the question.
I was there.
I know, answer the
Oh, that explains it.
question.
We're going to delve deeper into that. We're finding out that some of those people and those FBI agents were outside. And I'm not going to
It's
Oh, please, dude. She's saying that it was an FBI coup or whatever. Why did Trump pardon all of the January 6th people if it was an FBI plant or operation or whatever the hell? It is so stupid.
a yes or no question.
Why did the January 6th committee destroy hundreds of pages of
It's a
documents?
yes.
They didn't. This is complete nonsense. Meme rehashes old false claim that January 6th committee destroyed evidence. Just made up. You just made this shit up.
Yes or no question.
That was the Democrats who destroyed hundreds of pages of documents.
Answer.
January 6th committee investigated January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol, deleted and destroyed all of the information that they collected over 2 years. False. Completely false.
Her question.
Told not to destroy them. I agree with the pardons of some of those people who walked in and walked out.
What about the ones who attacked the police?
Anyway,
What about the ones that attack police?
the
Anyway, yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway.
January 6th pardons, the president, that was one of the promises he made on the campaign trail, and he did.
Anyway, yeah, wow. Jesus Christ, man, these people are shameless.